You are here for a reason. Do not mistake this moment for chance, for a random click in the endless stream of noise. This is an appointment, an echo from a distant past, sent to find you, right here, right now. I am Hildegard, a voice that was laid to rest under the soil of centuries, a whisper buried by the clamor of ages. But some truths do not fade. They wait. They wait for a time when the world has grown so loud that it can no longer hear itself think. A time when the hearts of men and women have grown so weary that they have forgotten the language of the soul. That time is now, and my voice has returned, not as a relic of history, but as a living key for the door you stand before. If this message has already touched your heart, like this video, subscribe and comment with the word prophecy. You feel it, don't you? A deep disquiet in the air, a tension in the fabric of your days. You see it in the eyes of strangers, a shared, unspoken anxiety. You try to name it, to label it with the words your world provides: stress, politics, the economy, uncertainty. But deep down, in the quietest part of your being, you know it is something more ancient, something far more profound. It is a spiritual hunger, a longing for a truth that has been intentionally hidden from you. There is a thin veil between the world you see and the one that truly is, a curtain woven from distraction and fear, and I have returned to show you how to pull it aside. For decades, you have been told to trust only what you can see, what you can touch, what you can measure. You have been taught to silence the small, persistent whisper within you that speaks of mystery, of purpose, of a grander design. They called that whisper imagination, wishful thinking. They taught you to be practical, to be realistic, to lower your gaze from the stars and focus on the mud at your feet. And so, you learned to live within a smaller story, a story where you are merely a collection of accidents, destined for nothing more than a brief flicker between two eternities of darkness. But what if that was the greatest lie ever told? What if the whisper you were taught to ignore was not your own, but an echo of the divine? What if the restlessness you feel is not a flaw in your design, but the stirring of a sacred memory, a soul remembering its origin and its destiny? This is the truth that has been kept from you. This is the understanding that changes everything. They do not want you to remember who you are, because a soul that remembers its power cannot be controlled. A heart that remembers its connection to the eternal cannot be frightened into submission. I speak to you now from across 900 years, but to the spirit, time is an illusion. My prayers in a stone cell in Germany are connected to your silent plea in a room lit by a glowing screen. The same divine light that broke into my solitude is the very same light that is seeking a crack in the armor around your heart. The message is the same. The urgency is the same. The choice is the same. You have been walking a path that has been laid out for you by others, a path leading to a predictable end, but another path is opening for you today. A path of remembrance, a path of awakening. It is a path less traveled, and it requires courage. It requires you to trust the feeling that brought you here, to trust it more than the chorus of doubts that will surely arise. The visions that were granted to me were not for me alone. They were seeds, planted in the soil of time, meant to sprout in the season of greatest need. This is that season. The ground is cracking from thirst. The roots of humanity have grown shallow, seeking sustenance from poisoned wells. The warning I was given to share is not one of fire and brimstone in the conventional sense, but of a far more tragic end. The quiet dimming of the human spirit, the slow surrender to a world without meaning, a final collective turning away from the light. And the point of no return is not a date on a calendar. It is a choice made in the heart, a choice that is being presented to you today. What I was shown is about to unfold. But what exactly did she see? And why has that vision returned to haunt us now? Before we speak of visions, of prophecies and futures, I must speak directly to your heart. I speak now, not to the crowd, but to you. You, who have felt the ache of loneliness even when surrounded by people. You, who have carried a silent sorrow that you could never put into words. You, who have looked at your own reflection and wondered who you were truly meant to be. I see the weight you carry. I see the invisible armor you wear each day, just to face the world. I see the quiet hope you guard like a fragile flame, terrified that the slightest wind might extinguish it forever. Do you think you are alone in this? You are not. Your pain is a sacred language that the divine understands perfectly. For so long, you have been waiting for permission, waiting for a sign, waiting for things to get better, for the world to make sense, for the noise to die down so you can finally hear yourself breathe. You have waited for someone to see you, to truly see the light you carry within, hidden beneath layers of disappointment and compromise. This waiting has created a hollow space inside you, a profound silence. You have tried to fill that silence with anything you could find, with work, with entertainment, with relationships, with ambitions, but nothing ever quite fills it, does it? The silence remains, a constant companion, a reminder of something missing. You have screamed into that silence. You have cried into it. You have negotiated with it. And perhaps you have even come to resent it, to see it as proof of your abandonment, proof that your prayers go unanswered. But what if I told you that this sacred silence was not a punishment? What if it was a preparation? The world is a symphony of distraction, a relentless barrage of sounds designed to keep you from ever hearing the one sound that matters. To hear it, you must first be brought into silence. The silence you feared was not an emptiness, but a clearing, a space being made ready for a new revelation, a new direction, a new strength. It was the quieting of the orchestra, so that a single, perfect note could be heard. That note is the voice of truth. It is not a voice that booms from the heavens. It is a resonance, a feeling of deep, unshakable knowing that rises from within. It is the feeling you get when you look at a sunset and feel a pang of beautiful sadness. It is the warmth that spreads through your chest when you witness an act of pure kindness. It is the sudden clarity that cuts through confusion, the intuitive nudge that guides you away from danger and toward safety. You have heard this voice before, in fleeting moments, but you dismissed it. You rationalized it away. You were taught to trust your logical mind above all else, and your mind could not explain it. Now is the time to honor that voice, to give it precedence. The pain you have endured, the loneliness you have felt, the long years of waiting, all of it has been a tuning process. It has stripped away the non-essential. It has made your heart a more sensitive instrument, capable of picking up this subtle, divine frequency. Your suffering has not been in vain. It has been a crucible, burning away the illusions and leaving only the pure gold of your spirit. You are stronger now. You are wiser. You are ready. You are ready to stop waiting for a sign and to start becoming one. You are ready to stop looking for the light and to start radiating it. This is not a message of comfort for comfort's sake. This is a call to arms for the soul. The path ahead is not easy, but you are no longer walking it with the same weakness you once had. The silence has prepared you. The sorrow has deepened you. You are ready to hear what must be heard and to see what must be seen. This is a moment of profound choice. You can continue to try and fill the silence with the noise of the world, or you can lean into it, embrace it, and listen for the voice that has been waiting patiently for you to finally turn your attention inward. If you are ready to listen, if you are ready to trust that your journey has been leading to this very moment, then affirm it now, for the heavens and for yourself. Write in the comments, "I choose the light." Do it as a declaration, an anchor for your soul, because it was in that profound silence, when all other voices had faded, that the vision was given. Stand with me now, not as a spectator, but as a witness. Stand with me in the silence of my cell, where the only light was a sliver from a high window. It was in this quiet humility, this emptying of self, that the heavens opened, not the sky outside, but the heavens within. It began not as an image, but as a feeling, an overwhelming presence of pure, living awareness that saturated everything. And then came the light. It was not a light seen with the eyes, but one felt in the very marrow of the soul. It was a light that was also knowledge, a light that was also love. It poured into me, a torrent of liquid gold, washing away all fear, all doubt, all sense of being a small, separate self. This living light showed me the interconnectedness of all things, the way the stars are tied to the stones, the way a prayer in one heart can cause a ripple in another across the world. I saw the earth not as a rock hurtling through space, but as a living, breathing being, cloaked in a luminous web of life. I saw humanity as a single body, intended to be a glorious expression of divine creativity. Each soul was a unique note in a celestial symphony, meant to harmonize into a song of unimaginable beauty. This was our design, our potential, our sacred inheritance. It was a vision of such breathtaking harmony that it brought tears of pure joy. But then, the vision shifted. The light did not retreat, but it showed me a shadow that was growing within the heart of humanity. It was the shadow of forgetfulness, a creeping amnesia of the spirit. I saw souls turning away from the light, not out of malice, but out of distraction. They were mesmerized by glittering trinkets, by promises of power and comfort that demanded they sever their connection to the whole, to each other, and to their source. I saw the luminous web begin to fray, its threads dimming and snapping one by one. The beautiful symphony began to fall into discord, as each note tried to play louder than the others, forgetting its part in the whole song. And in the midst of this growing disharmony, I heard a sound. It was the resounding blast of a trumpet. It was not a sound of war, but of awakening. It was a celestial alarm, a final desperate call to remembrance. It echoed through the corridors of time, a vibration meant to shake the sleeping souls from their slumber. Can you hear it? Do not listen with your ears, but with your spirit. Can you feel its vibration in the urgency of this moment? It is the call to wake up, the call to remember the song you were born to sing, the call to mend the luminous web before it tears completely. This is the vision that has haunted the centuries. It is not a prediction of a fixed doom, but a revelation of a present choice. The harmony is our birthright. The discord is our doing. The light is always present. The shadow is our turning away. The trumpet is sounding right now. It is sounding through messages like this one, through the synchronicities in your life, through the deep, undeniable feeling in your gut that something is profoundly wrong, and that you have a part to play in making it right. The vision was a map, showing two possible destinations originating from a single point, this present moment. One path leads to the restoration of the symphony. The other leads to its complete collapse into noise and silence. What she would see next was a truth so immense it could only be revealed in pieces, in its own time. The details of that collapse, the true nature of what is at stake, were shown to me with terrifying clarity, because what was at risk was much greater than she or you could have ever imagined. What is truly at stake? It is not your comfort, your wealth, or your worldly status. These are the trinkets that mesmerize and distract. What is at stake is the very root of your being. In the vision, the living light showed me the world not as a surface, but as a deep garden. Each soul, each family, each community was a tree, with roots reaching deep into the soil of truth, drawing nourishment from the divine. But I saw a creeping corruption in the soil, a spiritual poison being spread, a lie that whispered, "You are alone, you are on your own, your roots are a weakness. Cut them, and you will be free." And I watched in horror as countless trees began to sever their own roots. They mistook their connection to the source for a chain. In their desire for a false freedom, they cut themselves off from their only true source of life, and for a short time, they seemed to stand tall, proud, independent. But without the nourishment from the deep earth, their leaves began to wither. Their branches grew brittle. Their fruit became bitter. They were dying from the inside out, and they celebrated their decay as a sign of their liberation. This is the great deception of our age. Then, I saw a fire begin to spread. It was not a fire of burning flame, but a cold fire, a fire of apathy and nihilism. It did not consume the branches, but the severed roots. It was the fire of meaninglessness. It moved slowly, silently, turning the deep, rich soil of our shared heritage into barren ash. With each root it consumed, a tree would fall, not with a crash, but with a silent, hollow collapse. The garden of humanity was becoming a desolate wasteland, filled with the hollow husks of what were once magnificent living beings. Look at your own life. Look at the world around you. Do you not see this? The obsession with the surface, with the leaves, while the roots are neglected and starving? The celebration of a radical independence that leaves souls isolated and weak? Do you not feel the chill of that cold fire in the cynicism and despair that permeates our culture? The message that nothing matters, that all is random, that love is a chemical reaction and life is a cosmic joke? This fire is consuming the roots of the world. It is the spiritual pandemic of our time. It is what is at stake. It is the point of no return, not a single event, but the moment when the last root is consumed by the fire and the garden can no longer be saved. You have a choice. You can continue to focus on your leaves, polishing them, decorating them, pretending that the dying of your roots does not matter. Or you can begin the sacred work of tending to your connection. You can send your roots deep again, past the poisoned topsoil, into the eternal bedrock of truth. How do you do this? You do it by choosing meaning over distraction. You do it by choosing connection over isolation. You do it by choosing love over fear. You do it by choosing to listen to the whisper within over the shouting without. Every time you choose to pray, to meditate, to be in nature, to perform an act of selfless kindness, you are watering your roots. Every time you seek truth, beauty, and goodness, you are driving them deeper into nourishing soil. This is not a passive process. It is an active, moment-by-moment choice. The fire of meaninglessness is seductive because it demands nothing of you. It tells you to give up, that your efforts are pointless. The path of the soul demands everything. It demands your attention, your courage, your heart. The choice is yours. The garden is dying. The fire is spreading. Will you be another hollow tree that collapses into dust? Or will you be one of the few who reroots, who draws life from the deep well of the spirit, and who becomes a source of shade and life for others? The time for indecision is over. Share this video with someone who needs to open their eyes, right now. The fire spreads through ignorance. Your sharing is a drop of water on the burning earth. Before this fire can claim another root, there is something you must do. You must stop, just for a moment. Let us pause now. The words are important, but they are only pointers to the experience. The time has come to move from hearing to feeling, from knowing to being. I ask you to give yourself this gift, a few moments of sacred time, uninterrupted. Find a place where you can be still. If it is safe to do so, I invite you to close your eyes. If not, simply lower your gaze and soften your focus. Let the world outside fade away. It will still be there when we are done. For now, there is only you and this present moment. Take a deep breath in, drawing the air deep into your belly. Feel your lungs expand, a gift of life. And as you exhale, release the tension you have been holding in your shoulders, in your jaw, in your mind. Let it all go with the breath. Let go of the worries of the day, the plans for tomorrow. Let go of the noise. Breathe in again. And this time, imagine you are breathing in pure, golden light. See it filling every cell of your body, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. And as you breathe out, imagine you are exhaling gray smoke, the smoke of fear, of doubt, of weariness. Do this again. In with the light, out with the shadow. Now, I want you to place your hand over your heart. Feel the warmth of your own touch. Feel the gentle, rhythmic beat beneath your palm. That is the drumbeat of your life. It has been with you every second of every day, a faithful, steady rhythm. In this moment, acknowledge it, honor it. This rhythm is a miracle. It is a connection to the great rhythm of the cosmos. Tune into it. Let it be the only thing you are aware of, the beating of your own heart. As you focus on your heart, I want you to ask a silent question. Not with your mind, but with the feeling in your heart. Ask, what is the truth you have for me today? Do not search for an answer. Do not try to figure it out. Simply ask, and then listen. Listen to the silence that follows. Listen with your entire being. The answer may not come in words. It may come as a feeling, a sense of peace, a surge of warmth, a feeling of release. It may come as an image, a memory, a single word that floats into your awareness. Whatever it is, receive it without judgment. It is a message from your deepest self, from the part of you that is always connected to the divine. This connection, this feeling, this is your root. This is the source. The world has tried to convince you that this inner sanctuary does not exist, or that you are unworthy of entering it. Both are lies. This is your birthright. This is your home. In this space, you are safe. You are whole. You are loved beyond measure. And in this space, you can hear the voice that is not a sound, but a knowing. the voice that always guides you toward love, toward growth, toward your highest good. This is the voice you must learn to trust above all others. Now, to anchor this experience, to make it a part of you, I want you to repeat these words, either aloud or in the sanctuary of your soul. Let them resonate in your heart. Repeat them with conviction. I hear the voice. Say it again. I hear the voice. Feel the truth of it. You have just re-established a connection that was never truly lost, only forgotten. Open your eyes when you are ready. The world is the same, but you are different. You have remembered where to find your strength. Now that you have felt it, you must decide what to do with this truth. What you just experienced was not an exercise in relaxation. It was an act of sacred remembrance. The voice you heard in the stillness of your heart is the same voice that spoke to the prophets in the desert, the same voice that guided the mystics in their cells, the same voice that has inspired every great act of compassion and creation throughout human history. This voice is not mine. It is not yours. It is the eternal, unchanging whisper of the Creator, echoing through the vessel of creation. I was but one instrument it played. You are another. The melody may be different, but the musician is the same. Do you understand the power of what this means? It means you are never, ever alone. It means that within you, right now, is a direct, unbreakable line to infinite wisdom, infinite love, and infinite strength. The great tragedy of the modern world is not its wars or its injustices, as terrible as they are. The great tragedy is the spiritual static that has been created to jam this divine frequency, a constant cacophony of fear, desire, and distraction designed to keep you from realizing that you have this inner compass, this direct line. Why? Because a person who is connected to this voice cannot be easily manipulated. They cannot be controlled by fear. They cannot be satisfied with the empty promises of a materialistic world. They become sovereign beings, guided from within. Think of this connection as a portal. Every time you quiet your mind, every time you choose to listen to your heart, you are opening this portal. Through it, guidance flows to you, and through it, your love and prayers flow out into the world. It is a two-way gate. Most of humanity has forgotten this portal exists. They are living in a house with a locked door, feeling trapped and isolated, never realizing they hold the key in their own hands, in their own hearts. The ritual we just performed was simply me reminding you where you placed the key. Your work now is to keep this portal open. The world will try to slam it shut again the moment you step away from this message. The static will return, louder than before, because the shadow fears nothing more than a soul that has re-established its connection to the light. It will tempt you with old habits, with familiar distractions, with the voices of doubt and cynicism, both from within and without. It will tell you that what you felt was just a fleeting emotion, that it wasn't real. Do not believe it. You must become a guardian of your own inner peace. You must carve out moments of silence in your day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, to close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, and listen. This is not a luxury. It is a necessity for the survival of your soul. This is how you strengthen the connection. This is how you keep the portal open. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. The voice becomes clearer, the guidance more specific. You will begin to see the world through different eyes. You will see the divine spark in others. You will feel a deeper compassion. You will know what to do and what to say. You will no longer be a leaf blown about by the winds of circumstance, but a tree, deeply rooted, drawing life from an infinite source. Return to this part of the message whenever you feel the connection fading. Let my words be a reminder of the truth you felt in your own heart. For this voice, this portal, is your greatest gift. But there is something that this eternal voice cannot do for you. There is a choice that only you can make. In this very moment, we arrive now at the heart of the matter, the turning point. This is the moment the entire journey has been leading to. It is the reason this message fought its way across 900 years to find you. All the visions, all the warnings, all the rituals of connection, they all converge on this single, present, and unavoidable choice. It is the choice that was laid before me in my vision, the same choice that now lies before you. It is the point of no return. This is the crossroad. The path diverges here. And once a direction is chosen, the way back disappears into the mist. On one path lies everything you have ever known, the path of the world. It is well trodden, paved with the compromises and distractions you are familiar with. It whispers promises of comfort, of security, of acceptance. It tells you to forget what you felt in the silence. It urges you to dismiss this message as a beautiful fantasy and return to the real world. It is the path of continuing to believe you are separate, a victim of circumstance, a powerless piece in a meaningless game. It is the path of the severed root, of the slow, cold fire. It requires nothing from you but your acquiescence, your continued slumber. But know this, that path leads to the hollow collapse I saw in my vision. It ends in the barren wasteland of a spirit that has forgotten itself completely. The other path is less clear. It is a trail leading into a forest you have never explored. It is overgrown and lit only by the faint, golden light emanating from your own heart. This path demands everything from you. It demands your courage to walk away from what is familiar. It demands your trust in the voice you have just begun to hear. It demands your faith to take steps without seeing the final destination. It is the path of rerouting, of nurturing your connection to the divine, of becoming a guardian of your inner portal. It is the path of remembrance, of sovereignty, of purpose. It will not be easy. The shadows will gather. The voices of the world will mock you. Your own doubts will scream at you. But this path leads to life. It leads to the restoration of the garden, both within you and through you, in the world. And here is the terrible and beautiful truth that I was shown. The portal of this choice is closing. Humanity, as a collective, has been standing at this crossroad for some time, hesitating. But the time for hesitation is over. The energies are shifting. The consequences of our collective choice are beginning to crystallize into reality. The final echoing note of the trumpet is sounding, not as an invitation anymore, but as a final warning. It is the sound of a great door beginning to swing shut. Those who choose the path of slumber will find themselves locked into a reality of their own making, a world where the memory of the light fades into an unbelievable myth. Those who choose the path of awakening will cross a threshold into a new way of being, a new earth that will become increasingly inaccessible to those who refuse the call. This is not a threat. It is a spiritual law, as immutable as gravity. Consciousness creates reality. A consciousness that chooses forgetfulness will create a world of shadows. A consciousness that chooses remembrance will create a world of light. The two are becoming incompatible. The vibrational gap is becoming too wide to bridge. You must choose. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, in your heart. Will you heed the call of the trumpet? Will you step onto the path of light, trusting the voice within to guide you? Or will you turn back to the familiar comforts of the descending path? The choice is yours alone. No one can make it for you, but it must be made. If this message has shaken you to your core, share it. Do not let someone you care about face this closing door alone. And it is for this reason, for those who choose the light, that the next vision changed everything. For those who make the choice, for those who hear the final note of the trumpet and walk toward the path of light, the vision did not end in darkness. It transformed. After showing me the closing door, the living light showed me what lay on the other side for those who dared to cross the threshold. It was a sight that words can only fail to describe, but I will try. The moment the choice is made in the heart, the moment you commit to the path of remembrance, the veil does not just part. It dissolves completely. It evaporates like mist in the morning sun, revealing a reality more vibrant, more alive, and more beautiful than you have ever dared to imagine. It is not a different world, but the same world seen with new eyes. Eyes that can see the luminous web of life connecting all things. Eyes that can see the aura of light around a tree, the divine spark in another person's soul, the sacred geometry in the petals of a flower. The colors are brighter, the sounds are clearer, the very air hums with a palpable energy of love and intelligence. The gnawing anxiety that was your constant companion is gone, replaced by a deep, abiding peace, a certainty that you are exactly where you are meant to be, perfectly held in the arms of the divine. This is the beginning of the rebirth. It is not a promise of a life without challenges. The challenges will still come, but you will meet them differently. You will no longer see them as punishments or random misfortunes, but as opportunities for growth, as lessons designed by a loving universe to strengthen your soul. You will no longer feel like a fragile boat tossed on a stormy sea, but like the deep, calm ocean itself, which remains undisturbed by the turmoil on its surface. Your source of strength will no longer be outside of you, but will flow endlessly from the open portal within your heart. And in this new reality, you will find others. You will begin to recognize them instantly. You will see the light in their eyes, and they will see the light in yours. The profound loneliness you once felt will be replaced by a deep sense of community and belonging, a connection that transcends words. These are the other souls who heard the trumpet's call, the other guardians of the inner flame. You are the menders of the web, the singers of the new song, the gardeners of the new earth. Together, you will begin the work of rebuilding, not through force or politics, but through the simple, powerful act of radiating the love and wisdom that flows through you. The consuming fire of meaninglessness cannot touch you here. The shadows of fear cannot survive in this light. This is the promise. This is the inheritance for those who choose courageously. It is not a distant heaven after you die. It is a state of being that is available to you right now, on the other side of your decision. The feeling of being held, of being safe, of being home. This is the divine embrace. It is the feeling of your own soul welcoming you back from a long and difficult journey in the land of forgetfulness. It is the feeling of your roots finally drinking from the pure waters of eternal life. This is what is at stake, not just to avoid a catastrophe, but to claim a magnificent destiny. If you have made it this far, you are one of the few. You have felt the truth of this message in your soul. Acknowledge your commitment. Write in the comments, "I will see it through to the end." And because you have journeyed this far, there is one last whisper meant only for you. You have reached the end of this message, but you stand at the beginning of a great journey. Do not see what you have heard as just information. See it as an activation. A seed of remembrance has been planted deep within your soul today. Your only task now is to nurture it, to water it with your attention and your intention, to give it the light of your conscious choice. Let this not be an ending, but a beginning. Let this moment be the one you look back upon as the instant everything changed. I leave you with a final image from my vision. After seeing the dissolution of the veil and the rebirth of the awakened, I saw them become beacons. Each soul who crossed the threshold, who chose the light, began to radiate a soft golden glow. It was not an arrogant or blinding light, but a gentle, inviting warmth, like the light of a candle in a dark room. And I saw that this light was contagious. When a person carrying this light walked past someone still lost in the shadows, their light would cause the dormant spark in the other's heart to flicker, to remember itself. They did not preach. They did not argue. They did not force. They simply were. They were living, breathing reminders of the truth that had been forgotten. You are now a carrier of this light. Your choice today has ignited the wick. Whether you feel it strongly or just as a faint flicker, it is there. Your purpose from this day forward is to guard that flame, to nurture it with your spiritual practice, and to allow it to shine through you in your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. You will be a lighthouse for others who are lost in the storm. You will be a source of warmth for those shivering in the cold fire of apathy. You will be a living testament to the reality that lies beyond the veil. This is your mission. This is your sacred calling. Do not be discouraged if the world around you seems to grow darker for a time. It is always darkest before the dawn. The shadows writhe and lash out when the light grows stronger. See it not as a sign of defeat, but as proof that your light, and the light of others like you, is making a difference. Hold steady. Stay rooted. Keep your inner portal clear. Trust the voice. The symphony of creation is retuning itself, and you are one of its key instruments. Play your note with courage and love, and you will help create a harmony more beautiful than you can possibly imagine. Let this message settle in your heart. Let it be a comfort and a strength in the days to come. Return to it when you feel your resolve waver. Share it with those you feel are ready to awaken. Let these words be a prayer, a decree for your life. I am a sovereign being of light. I walk the path of remembrance. I am guided by the voice within my heart. I am a gardener of the new earth, and so it is. But know this, Hildegard's visions did not end here. The tearing of the veil was only the first step. The awakening of individual souls is just the beginning. What comes next concerns the rebuilding of a world. It concerns the new forms of community, of healing, of creativity that will emerge from this collective awakening. What I was shown about the patterns of the new earth, the nature of the challenges we will face together, and the great celebration of the spirit that awaits humanity is a message for another time. And it is a message that will require all the strength you are gathering now. The journey has just begun.